Hello, my name is Amy Jones, and I am here for my second installment of Ask Amy. And I have the delicious, amazing Nicole Donner here with me, and we're gonna have some fun and ask some random questions, which I have maybe like a little smidgen of insight into. But this is the real fun part about being a reflector is we get to reflect back and mirror what is going on, and I get to taste a little bit of this and a little bit of that and share my wealth and wisdom with you. And hopefully, that this serves your highest alignment now. And there's so much going on in this world right now. We're on the March 2nd, Pisces new moon. The world is turning upside down. And what a better time to have a conversation about dreaming big on this Pisces full moon. So I'm so excited to share this space. We're going to talk for about 15 minutes with the beautiful Nicole Donner. She is a life, a health and wellness, a fitness transformational coach, and she's here to hold space for you so that you can transform your life as well into the highest version of yourself. So thank you so much, Nicole, for sharing this space with me. And I'm super excited to see where this conversation is going. And I just have like goosebumps all over me.
Yeah, me too. Thank you for inviting me. This is so cool to like connect through the world, like around the globe. And
Yes.
I'm super excited. It's
Yes.
so great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you're most welcome. And I'm just outside of Vancouver, Canada, and it's 10 in the morning for me, and you're in Germany, and it's 7 o'clock at night. And this is the power of the internet. This is the power of
Yes.
the collective, because we really are one. And there is
Yes.
so much power in one to many. And this is what we're here to do, is pay forward and help us raise our vibration and lead with love. And who doesn't like that? It's magic.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
my darling, the stage is yours.
Yes. As I read, or as I know, we just know shortly, but then we have like pinpoints and of informations. I'm so curious because I'm at a stage again where I'm transforming from being a coach to doing something else to going back to what I'm loving. And then I always wonder, people are always like, then I quit my job and I just did what I wanted to do. So I'm very, very curious. You said you still are or were working in corporate business. So what made you, like how did the transition from this job to what you're doing now happen?
Well, first of all, I'm retired. I was in corporate business sales for 20 years. I had worked for IBM. I had worked for Fortune 500s. I'd worked for startups. And my whole adult life, I was living the life that I thought I was meant to live. Go to school, get a job, get married, have children, check, 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 check. And, it was good. I was very successful. I was a high six-figure business professional. I traveled all over the world and I was happy, but I wasn't fulfilled. I always felt like I was missing something. It was kind of like a solid B+ when I knew I could have an A+. And I had heard something a few years ago and it really stuck with me. And it said, the biggest enemy of great is good. And that just hit me like a ton of bricks. And that is in any part of your life. That is personally, that is professionally, that is your relationships. That's how you invest your time, your energy, your money. And, I realized that I wasn't living my greatest, highest aligned, most fulfilled, most authentic life. And what ended up happening is I went through a spiritual awakening a few years ago and just so many things tumbled. And as part of that process, I realized I have one life to live and I want to live it for me. And I want to live it authentically and with purpose and with passion and with pleasure, joyfully, every moment of my day. And what I was doing wasn't bringing me joy. It was bringing me happiness, but it wasn't bringing me pure, authentic joy. And so what started was, I'm like, okay, well, what do I want to do? What do I want to be when I grow up? And I've always been interested in astrology and tarot and all these beautiful, magical, mystical things. And I stumbled more deeply into astrology, and I stumbled onto my North Node and my Chiron. And those were kind of like goalposts for me that gave me a sense of direction. My masculine energy within me gave me a sense of focus and direction to create this life of a masterpiece that I had been desiring, but I didn't know how to create. And the funny part was it took me probably 2 years to find my birth time, because you need your birth time to have
Oh, interesting.
You need your birth time to have a
I
well-rounded
do have it.
astrological chart. Oh, good. Well, I'll do yours with you afterwards if you want.
Mm.
So much fun. And so you need your birth time, your birth date, and your location, and then you pop it into a birth chart, and you need to make sure you have your North Node and your Chiron. And what's so cool about this is your have you heard of North Node and Chiron, or should I explain it? Okay, maybe I'll explain it for everybody too.
Mm.
So you have your South Node and your North Node, and your South Node is kind of like the bag of goodies that you come into this life with. It's what you have mastered in your previous life. And then your North Node is the life that you transition into. So for example, the midlife crisis point, the divorce point, the I want to keep my life the same, the comfortable, the I don't want to change. And everybody has free will, and that's totally cool. But the biggest growth and inner fulfillment comes when you answer the call to being pulled towards that growth path. And oh boy, that just opened up a whole, it was just magical because I didn't know where I was going, but I knew it was right. It just felt grounded and right. And I didn't know. And it was just kind of like this like unfolding path of where do I go next? And that's your North Node. That's your North Node pulling you to learn that life lesson that you're here to learn, to heal, to transmute, to pay forward, to serve yourself, and then to serve those around you, because we all have a medicine. We all have a magic. And it's our choice if we want to heal that within us and bring inner peace and inner fulfillment. And when you do that, that is your gift to pay forward and serve for the highest growth of others. And it's beautiful. And that's your North Node. And then when you layer Chiron onto that, Chiron is an asteroid and it's way out there. It's out near Jupiter or Saturn. And it's known as the wounded healer. And it's your karma. It's your karma that you are here to heal and pay forward. And so when you layer both of those together, it's just like a light bulb goes off, because it gives your masculine energy within you that is looking for that action, a point to go towards. And then you just get to allow your feminine energy within you to just unravel this beautiful gift. And it's amazing. And so that opened up to me, and I realized my life purpose is to harmonize relationships within myself and with others. And that's been a message my whole life, because I've had a lot of unhealthy relationship patterns with myself, with others. I was bulimic. I was a high level competitive athlete. I grew up in a dysfunctional home, and we all have dysfunctional homes. I get it, but unhealthy relationships. I had been in unhealthy relationships my whole life: alcoholism, drug addiction, financial problems, like you name it. And so I was clearly being forced to learn how to harmonize relationships. I wasn't doing that in my corporate world. And so it made sense that it wasn't fulfilling, because my masculine energy was like, do this, check the box, great. But I had started butting up against what my soul was calling me to do, which was how to harmonize the disturbance within me. And then when I did that, I realized, oh, this is good. This is scary and unfamiliar, but oh, it's satisfying. And so that's really where the shift happened, where I'm like, I can't do what I'm doing in corporate anymore. I've brought this back into corporate 100%. And now I help women leverage balanced, harmonized energetics in corporate. So it's not the go, 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 do, be, hustle, seek, attach in corporate, which we're all used to. It's
exactly.
Connect. How may I serve you so that you succeed? Not
exactly.
What are you going to do for me so that I can turn you into a sale and put money on my table and feed my family? It's a very small nuance of an energy shift that
exactly. Yeah. I just had a conversation like this today where it's like, but then you have something from it. I was like, no, the motivation doesn't need to be, if I do this, then I get that. There's this different, subtle thing where I want to do it intrinsically because it just feels good. I want to do it because I feel good then, not because I know that I get something like, whatever it is. Yeah. Perfectly.
And this is the concept of sell to serve or serve to sell, because you're unattached. But it took me a long time
Yeah, true.
See that,
Yes.
to realize that I was being externally led. I gave this example the other day in a women's group. Somebody was asking something and I respond, oh, it's about a pyramid scheme. And I'm like, well, corporate America is basically a pyramid scheme because there's a CEO and tells everybody what to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
The thing that one of the major shifts within me within corporate was is when you are being externally led, either by a CEO, a partner, a parent, society, social media, whatever it is, you're giving your power away. You are disempowering your authenticity. And whether it's one little click away or whether it's like a mile away, that disturbance causes friction. And that takes you back to the best enemy of great is good. Because if it's just a little click away, it feels really good. You're not feeling like the pull to shift. But when you shift that leadership from external to internal,
exactly,
you are your CEO.
And that feels great.
Yeah.
And that feels great.
It feels fucking great. And then you get to align yourself because everything is energy and vibration, and you will naturally align, and you'll probably feel some disturbance. And this is what happened with me is I fell out of alignment with that unhealthy, distorted masculine structure that 99% of corporate America is in. And it's no fault. It's just that's what we've created. And with the rise of the feminine, with the age of Aquarius and all of this harmonizing, the whole planet is harmonizing. The feminine energy is standing in her leadership and her power.
Yes.
And the feminine actually is what leads within all of us. And when you allow yourself to be your inner CEO, to choose how you want to lead yourself, what is not in alignment will fall away, comfortably or uncomfortably. But what will come into alignment is joy, satisfaction, pleasure, and wealth in every single area of your life. And I just fell out of alignment with corporate, and I was banging my head against the wall for so long. And I finally said, enough is enough. And funny enough, I was going to go in and quit the day that I quit, and they ended up packaging me out that day with a beautiful package, and I'm very grateful for. And so that was a beautiful experience that I manifested. And it allowed me to step completely into my aligned, authentic self. And we are constantly healing and releasing layers. And the more I follow this path, the more in alignment I get. And it's just beautiful is the only word that I have for it, because I'm listening to myself and I'm trusting myself and I'm acting upon what my inner CEO desires. And I am getting rewarded, like hands down, way more than I've ever been rewarded.
So the question, the next question I would have had was like, what was the final decision? But maybe your decision, as you just explained, your decision was already in yourself. So
for me. And when I literally said to my husband that day, I've got a meeting with my manager in 5 minutes. I can't do this. I'm going to quit. I can't do this. And I surrendered. And 5 minutes later, I had a conversation and I was packaged out. And I'm just like, okay, thank you, universe.
This is what I mean.
I made the choice. And
that's what I meant. Works. Exactly.
Yeah. And that is how energy works, because energy wants to take up space. And so I removed the space, and instantly a higher vibration alignment came in to fill up that space, because it needs to just fill it up. Yeah. And you keep
make space. Make space. Exactly.
So and when you make space, removing that which you don't want, which is uncomfortable, unfamiliar, challenging, difficult, scary, totally get that. That's why you do it one little baby step at a time, because if you do it too much, you're going to scare the shit out of your system, and you're going to freak out, and you're going to go back and you're going to close up.
Yeah.
So it's a process, and it's being gentle, and it's being tender and loving and compassionate and nurturing and kind to yourself. And you can do this. I know you can do this.
Yeah.
You know, and you make space, and then now it's like, where can I make space? Because I see things completely different, because before it was like, this doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand what's going on. Now I fully trust, and it's okay. This isn't serving out. This isn't serving out. Fully listen to myself, fully guide myself. And like, even with this session, we were supposed to have, we were supposed to have this interview last week. And I messaged you and I said, I am honoring myself. I need to cry this morning. I need to purge. I need to release. I spent 3 hours crying, and it was amazing. And all this beautiful stuff happened. And then here we are having this conversation, which we had said feels like the right time to have it. Last week didn't feel correct. And we both,
and it was just the perfect, because I was just in the same place, you know, I was perfectly in the same place, like crying my eyes out, you know, having so many realizations. And I was like, am I really ready for this talk today? And then you wrote me, and it was just, and today we're like, oh, it's so good. You know, so many things shifted, and it's just perfect. And as you
Oh.
said, I also want to, you know, you also mentioned like, you know, being in this masculine, feminine energy, which is changing. And, you know, there's so much movement in this part where it gets into balance. Like, as you said, you know, so many things are happening in the world, and that's why it's even more important that we as women working, you know, working too, not harder, not stuff like this, but, you know, we are taking so much space for the masculine, or we took so much space. And it's so important that we get in this, you know, surrendering, feminine, receiving, you know, even being in our own love space again, so we can hold the space, we can make space for us, and even then to serve from a whole different spot, you know, again, this subtle thing in between the energies where you not think you have to do it, where you feel the greatness in what you do then. And this is, yeah, as I'm coming from movement, you know, that's why when you're like, oh yeah, you know, this click and this click, because I have this, I had a knee surgery, and I couldn't move. So I was like, but, you know, my world is to move, and I do move people. And even when they just talk to me, people get moved, you know, they open their heart, that's a movement, all these things. So I always had to, you know, reconnect, like, where does movement happen? In the outside, in the inside, with the body, with in the heart, and in our minds and stuff like this. So this is, you know, what I also love to share then with, you know, anybody who's like, I'm stuck in some place, you know, where do I need to go? Because sometimes it's not as quick when you make an inner decision that the outside world is like, okay, now you're off your journey, you know, that sometimes is the process itself. So yeah, it's,
And energy wants to move. And we are so used to sitting at a desk 8 hours a day, not moving.
Exactly.
Not even allowing our lower chakras, which are grounded, to just be in alignment. They're all like this.
Yes,
and
exactly.
jamming everything up.
Exactly.
And so
Yeah.
the biggest thing for me is to move. And it's been a gift that I didn't, and I've been a movement all my life. Like, I've been in my whole life, but to move and to listen intuitively and let your body guide you is different than
total different thing.
Run to the finish line, masculine energy, totally different. And when you lean back and listen and create space to listen,
exactly.
are gifted with just pleasure.
Natural movement, you know, like when you start to listen and feel, which can be, you know, first the other, then the other, but it then comes in alignment, because my, you know, movement is my job. It was my job, you know, until this time where I couldn't do it. The same thing, like the last years now, I like literally stopped and did something else. So, but even this was so, you know, in a way freeing. Like, exactly, I was so fit. This was my job. And I, even though I love moving, but it was so much taken from the masculine past, because I had to do it. It was my existential, you know, and I also got this, you know, whenever I had an injury, I was like, oh my God, stuff like this. So, and now I really stopped, you know, and I really got into me to feel, you know, and I'm still in a place where I'm like, so what does my body now wants to do, as it was my job, as I had, you know, the skills and stuff like this. So, and now it's like, I can choose, you know?
How may I serve you?
Yeah, exactly. Dear body.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the time, and these always seem
me too.
always run over, and that's fine. This is lovely. I know we'll continue talking about this afterwards, but I do want to wrap this up because I want to make sure we keep these to 20 minutes. So I'm going to let you share with people how they can connect with you. And then if anybody has any questions, you can comment below, you can message. We are here to collectively raise the vibration in service to your growth and your highest alignment. And for me, this has been beautiful. This conversation went a little bit different than I was expecting, and it was gorgeous. And I love it.
But it's perfect. It's just perfect. It's totally fine.
So please let me know. Please let our viewers know how they can connect in with you, and then, you know, we'll wrap up.
Yes. So either you can just, you know, message me through Facebook. I'm, you know, I'm Nicole Donner, as you said. Or
I'll tag your hashtag below, or your handle below.
Yeah. Or you can, I have you can also reach me through my internet page, which is like www.midomotion.de, because I'm in Germany. Just to get, there's my email and there's my telephone number. And, I love the movement, and anybody who is, stuck in some place, but I'm also an energetic healer. I'm intuitive empath. So, I had to, over the years, I see the bodies and I see different things that they need as they sometimes think they need it. So, whenever this is happening, and as I'm just, as you said, having the divorce point in life, and, losing people and stuff like this. So I had to transform a lot of things. And by now I can also support people by, whenever you have to let relationships go, let dear ones go and stuff like this, which is also a big different kind of movement. So, to balance the inner and outer movement, to get into movement, because shock brings you into stillness and stuff like this, which is also very important. But anybody, who feels like, oh my God, and I still need to let it move through my body, in a really soft and healing way, which is like so important. We don't need to or have to, get going like we're used to. So we can really create it as soft as babies pick themselves up when they start talking, when they start moving. I always go back to this place where we intrinsically know we, have to move to get to the next development stage. And it can be as easy. Yeah. So I'm very grateful to be connected to you, and anybody who wants to connect with me, come over, connect with me.
Yes, I will put your contact information below, and this was lovely. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you so much too.
Yeah, and for anybody that wants to connect into my world, again, my name is Amy Jones. I am an intuitive life and business mentor. I've got 20 years corporate business experience, and my passion, my pleasure, my purpose is to now help you bring harmony to your world, personally or professionally. And the more harmony you receive, the more wealth you receive in all areas of your life. And so if you're looking to harmonize your relationships, or if you're looking to bring more feminine, balanced energetics into your business experience, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'd be happy to have a conversation with you in service of your highest self. So thank you so much. This was lovely. And I can't wait to connect with you again very soon. Much love.
Yes.
Bye.
Yes.